Hi guys! So this is a vegan barbacoa recipe, and I have a couple of variations I also tried which I want to put in this video, but I think it might be too long. So I'm going to break this video down. I'm going to show you my original recipe, and then I'm going to post a couple of the variations. So to get started, I am using these Farmboy beefless tenders, and the texture is spot on to beef. So you might not be able to find this if you don't have a Farmboy near you, but if you've got an Asian store that sells mock meats, they tend to make the most realistic mock meats I've tried. Or you can use soy curls, which is another version I tried, which will be another video. Maybe. I'm putting in a piece of, I'll show you in a moment, that is a vegan beef stock. It's actually from Grace. It's beef flavored. Grace is a Jamaican company, and it is vegan. I put a sliver in there, but now seeing how much of the faux meat I have, I might go ahead and put the whole thing. Oops. These things can be salty, or they do tend to be salty, but let's try to infuse as much beef flavor as we can. It makes it easier for recipe purposes. So I'm putting 1 cube of this beef stock in there. I'm going to get that boiling, and I'm going to add my Farmboy beef. Now Farmboy beef is already soft and tender and ultimately does pull apart, kind of like a barbacoa, but I'm going to just put this, this is me working on the fly. Okay guys, I guess I'm going to shred it a little bit. That way let's get some flavor infused in there, especially when I add the peppers. As you know, my daughter and I love, first of all, I have 1 cup of water in there as well. My daughter and I love Mexican flavors. I might add another cup of water to this. And I'm going to tell you that I should shred this. I'm going to say this is about 1 cup of the Farmboy meat. Okay, it's about 1 cup. I'm just shredding it. Maybe I'll do a better shred afterwards. But I'm just shredding it, getting it in the pot. And it's at medium heat. I'm going to put it a little lower. Actually, I'll put it a lot lower. I'll put it at about a 3. Because barbacoa typically is beef that is slow cooked. Now what I like about the Farmboy is it shreds beautifully. It really has like that beefy texture. It's nice and soft. So my daughter said more than once, like, oh, maybe we could try making a barbacoa. So I was just going to try the recipe and then come back. But I figure, let me film this. If this works, then we got it. Okay. Alright, so that's what I have in here now. I said, as I figure, it's about a cup of the Farmboy, a cup of the water, 1 cube of the Grace vegan beef stock. It's on low heat. I'm going to cut up some onions and get the spices and stuff ready. Okay, so right now I do not have any white onions or yellow onions, so I'm going to use a red onion. It's fairly sizable, so I'm going to use about half. Again, I'm making a smaller version just to see how I like this. So I'm going to use about half an onion and dice that up. Okay, so I took a little less than that half because it's a big onion and just sort of judging based on what I have here. So if you have like if you either have a small onion, use it. If you have a medium-sized onion, use half if you're going to follow this recipe. Again, if I like this, I would make a bigger batch. I've got 2 cloves of garlic in here that are growing. I'm just going to use my garlic press. Okay, so I'm going to take the juice of 1 kind of small lime and also get it in the pan. So I'm thinking that my 1 small lime is about 1/8 of a cup. Let's see if I'm right. Oh, I am so good. It is just shy of 1/8 of a cup, which is what I was going to say I would use. So there we go. Now the recipes I've seen call for chipotle peppers in adobo sauce, but I don't have any. However, I did make a delicious chipotle sauce with them. So I am just going to instead use some of my beautiful chipotle mayonnaise. And I'm also going to change this up a bit. Hey, it doesn't have to be authentic, it just has to taste delicious. So I'm going to put, let's start with, well, okay, that's about a tablespoon. And I was thinking I would put 2 tablespoons of that. Let's do that. Let's go 2 tablespoons. Okay, so this is 1.5 tablespoons. And I'm doing the 1.5 tablespoon right now because I'm gonna add a little extra heat to this. I'm gonna take one of these little chili peppers and I'm going to dice this up. It's very small, just a thin one. I just want to add some extra heat to this and I'm gonna get that in there. I'm going to, okay guys, let's do this. Let's assume, this is my smoked paprika, so I'd say about 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika, just about a teaspoon of salt, so about 1/2 teaspoon of oregano. Okay, so I've just taken that small pepper and I've cut it into 3 pieces, which will allow the peppers to, they're cut so the liquid will flow through there. I'm putting that in. I guess I'm going to try to not let it be too spicy because we can also always spice it up later when we're making our tacos. I think I'm going to do 1/2 teaspoon of ground cumin. Okay, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. I feel like I'm going to do 1/4 teaspoon. As I'm putting it, I'm like, it's kind of a lot. So, all right, I think that's just about it. Okay, I'm going to give this a mix. Let me smell this. Oh, it definitely smells nice and spicy already. I guess that's also the cumin I'm smelling. Okay, that gives it a nice, doesn't it? It already looks like shredded, looks just like shredded meat, right? Look at that piece. So that's why I like this. We could try it with the soy curls. It smells good already, honestly. Gonna cook this slowly for about an hour and hoping for all those beautiful flavors to infuse in here. I just kind of want it to be warm enough so that it's hot, that the flavors get in there, but without boiling. It doesn't need to. And I'll check in half an hour if I need to add more water. And if that's the case, I will. But if not, guys, I'm just gonna cover this and let this simmer. So there's one thing I'm missing, and that's some ground cloves. I'm gonna put, for this amount, I'm gonna call this about 1/8 of a teaspoon. Not a ton. We're gonna put that in there, give that a mix. Come on guys, tell me that you wouldn't eat this vegan barbacoa. Look at that. All right, it's been about 40 minutes. Let's check in. Ooh, looking good and definitely smelling delicious. Like I said, I'll give it another 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. I suppose you can let it go as long as you want, but the purpose of this is not to cook it until it's soft because it's already soft. The purpose of this is to cook it to infuse the flavors. Okay, so it has been an hour. Look at this piece of meat here. Okay, look at this. I just want to show you. Okay, see that? Who's going to tell you that's not a piece of beef? If you were to go to someone's house right now and look on their stove and you saw this, you'd think that they were cooking beef. So what I'm going to do is it's so silly. Guys, when you make this, omit the salt. The only thing I had to think about this was it's a bit salty, and very silly of me, I had put the beef bouillon thing in there. I didn't need extra salt, but that's okay. It's a little bit salty, but I do like salt. It's not overly salty, but yeah, you don't need to put that extra teaspoon of salt. My bad. I'm just tasting this again. Delicious. This is super delicious. Okay, so I'm going to just turn this off and let it cool a little, and then I'm going to just even try to shred it more to make it look just like your barbacoa beef. All right, one thing I should have didn't do. Oh man, this looks just like beef. Why didn't I think of this? I'm going to put 1 soy curl in there. Guys, if you don't know what soy curls are dehydrated soy protein, and it's like a full soybean and no preservatives. You just moisturize it with water. I should have put 1 in here to cook with this to see how it would turn out. I'm adding it now to the very end, only to see if we get some good flavor on there. That said, I should have been cooking it for the full hour. I'm leaving it in here for a little longer, and ideally would have reconstituted this, but definitely over an hour of boiling it would have been nice. So guys, I'm putting 1 soy curl in there to see how the soy curl absorbs that, and it's not a full fair way to figure that out because I didn't put it in sooner. Okay guys, this, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this looks like the real deal. So what I'm going to do is get a bit on the plate. I'm going to show you guys how, I mean, obviously to shred it. The good thing about this is it shreds easily, it's soft. I'm going to find the soy curl. Oh, it didn't actually, because I didn't really put it in when it was boiling. I put it in when it was warm, but I let this sit like another 40 minutes. So the soy curl one is not as soft as it could be. I didn't do a proper test with it. Alright, so first, let's try this. I mean, it's just gonna shred easily. There you go, there's your vegan barbacoa. Shredding nicely. I mean, honestly, this looks like beef. Okay, Chloe's anxious to try. Now let me try.
It is hard to grab.
And I'm gonna try piece 2.
It's good.
It's really good. I did point out that I put the beef bouillon thing, which is salty, and then I added salt. But it's really good. In fact, it almost has, you know how this is more pull apart? It almost, the piece I tasted almost has more of the slightly tougher texture of beef.
Yeah, I was gonna say, interestingly, I don't think if you put this in a burrito bowl, I don't think anybody would be like, oh, this is vegan.
Yeah, no, this really, and that's the right meat to use for it. Now, I'll try soy curls shred nicely as well. Obviously, it didn't cook the way it should have, but let's taste.
Not bad.
You can make it with it, maybe because I didn't boil it fully. It's good, actually. But you can sort of taste the soy curl-ish part to it, but that's probably because I didn't boil it. I think if you were to boil this, it would be fine, but this Farmboy beef is completely, like, this looks, as Chloe said, who would say that this isn't beef? You'd trick anybody.
Yeah, the texture's spot on.
This texture is fantastic. And this is delicious. So I think I'm gonna make mine into a bowl. I would show you guys, I was gonna maybe make my own little taco shells because I have like a corn flour and wheat flour mix. But we also have rice. This is really good. We're gonna buy this again and we're gonna make this. Like, I wonder if how nice this would taste with the Beyond tips. I almost feel like
it would be as easy to shred though.
Yeah, this shreds so beautifully. And I feel like this is like a rice.
So I could just eat it like this.
I know. I'm gonna put it on rice because otherwise we could stand here. This is so flavorful, and it's not too spicy, right? I put one small chili in there, and I put because we didn't have Adobo peppers, I used Chipotle. I put the Chipotle mayo in there, and I have made a hit, guys. So I love it. So of course Chloe corrects me after. I said Adobo peppers as opposed to adobo. I'm sorry. Yeah, adobo peppers. Damn. This looks so good, and I can't even tell you how good this actually tastes. This is going to become, it's going to end up on our rotation. This is a must-have. Assembling the bowl. Got some rice. Adding some black beans. Can't have a burrito bowl without black beans. We love our black beans. Then the barbacoa, the star of the show. Top with some homemade pico, made without cilantro because of my daughter. But don't you worry, I'm gonna add my cilantro next. Nice dollop of guacamole. Now some cilantro. I like a lot. Tell me, do you love cilantro or do you hate it? Okay, so I'm also going to put, this is my jalapeno crema. If you like it nice and spicy. And I have my Chipotle mayo made with adobo peppers. Guys, if I said adobe in my other videos, well, hey. This is so delicious. And I also have a little bit of my homemade salsa, a little spicy, not too spicy. I'm gonna put just a little bit. The reason I'm only gonna put a little is because I don't want to like completely lose all the flavors of the barbacoa. So just a little bit. And there, guys, is your vegan barbacoa bowl. This is, oh, look at that. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna eat and enjoy. Okay guys, I just took a bite of this. It's phenomenal. Look how good this is. And you can have the vegan version without the cruelty. It is absolutely flavorful. Love this. I guess I'm gonna try making it with soy curls. Let me know what you think. Should I try making it with soy curls? I guess I will. This is truly outstanding. Hope you guys try this, and I will see you in the next video.